And we're back. So this is part 3 of how to make an open pour swim bait mold. I've already got the mold poured in a 3 color, warming up some plastic here. Gotta get a little warmer. Then we're gonna pour some swim baits. Gonna try to keep it under 10 minutes. This is the bait that's the mold. I just wanted to pour a few. This one's almost done warming up. So here's our mold, already poured. I wanted to pour it ahead of time so y'all didn't have to wait for me to melt plastisol. So all you gotta do after you pour it. Oh, and if you didn't watch parts 1 and 2 and you want to see how it's done, go watch them. Subscribe to my channel. There'll be random stuff from fishing to reptiles. This is only like my 4th video. So I poured this one 3 color. You can really see the lines on it. So what we're gonna pour in it is watermelon red flake. This is a 2 cavity, so each time you pour, you get 2 baits. The rest of mine are single cavity. So what I did was I already have all these poured. So I'm gonna demold them, and then y'all get to see what it takes to pour them. Because you don't want to sit here and wait for plastic to cool. So when you go to pour, all you do is start up at the head. Start up at the head and pour in where the chin of the bait would be. Let all the fins fill in. Then you wait 15-20 minutes. And you pull out this. That's what I just poured in there. It's just watermelon red flake. Got a good hook slot in it. It's not too big of a bait. I think it's right at 5 inches, 4.5 inches, something like that. I like big, heavy bodied baits like this, but sometimes you want something with a smaller profile. So, if you watch much bait making stuff, here is the Epic Bait Molds Pud that was designed with marling baits in a little bluegill pattern. All you do after you pull it out of the mold is pull that out, and it's got a good hook slot in there. Takes an Owner Beast 4/0 hook, which is my favorite swim bait hook. The Owner Beast. Really clean mold. So there's that one. And then with the silicone molds, you have to take your time pulling them out of the mold. You want to go about mid-body, about right here. Work your way up towards the head, get the head out. And at the base of the tail, you don't want to just pull it out, you'll break the bait, but you just work it back and forth and it pops out. And you have a 5-inch bluegill. Same thing on the 7-inch. Start mid-body. work your way up to the head. You don't want to just pull it. You notice I'm just putting pressure on it, let it pop out. Do the same thing on the tail. Now I've got a big 7-inch. All I'm doing with this torch is popping the bubbles that rise to the top. These baits are for me, so it doesn't matter if they're ugly. But that's how you do it. And now we're gonna pour some plastic. Set that one right there. Gotta be very careful with this stuff. You want to pour it open pouring around 350 degrees. If you're doing it in a garage or inside and don't have a bunch of airflow, you need a respirator. I'm on my back porch, that's why you hear all that noise. My air conditioner is right on the other side of that fence, and there's a fan sitting right below my camera. Somebody thinks it's something creative, a color combo or something like that, comment. Or don't. But I just wanted to get this 3-part series out there because people were asking what it takes to make the mold and the bait. There's a lot of guys that pour baits. There's a handful that do it pretty good. I'm okay. I don't consider myself pretty good. I make fishable baits, not artwork masterpieces like some guys. This came out really cool. Don't microwave this stuff in the house. It is not healthy. And it smells really bad. Not a beer. Watermelon lime flavored sparkling water. One of these companies should sponsor me. So what we've got here is this funky, rusty red color that I mixed from some other colors to make a cool belly color. So we're just going to pour this in at the chin of the bait. And let it go back almost to the back of the hook slot. And I'll show you on one of the baits the effect I'm going for. So what I'm doing there is I'm pouring it so where it almost goes to the back of the hook slot, and then I'm tilting the bait. So what I'm making is this. See how the orange is only right on the belly, and then before the back of the hook slot, it goes to gray. If you look at like a big bluegill, they usually have an orange belt. And bass like it. It's always handy to have razor blades laying around, trimming stuff and stuff like that. I use metal rods for stir sticks. A lot of guys use butter knives. I had this in my garage. I also found that this doesn't put as much air in the bubbles. Air in the plastisol. It makes bubbles. Funky little color. That's a good one. I like that one. Can't go wrong. Watermelon red flake. Actually, there's red and green flake in there. That's the pud. This is the one that I made a copy of the mold because I don't know who made it. I went to buy some, or I actually bought them off the discount rack, and I really liked them, but they were on the discount rack with no label. So I don't even know who made that lure. It looks like it'll be a good bait. I really like the action of the one that I bought, so I destroyed 2 of them because it was a pack of 4. But if you go back and watch the first video, you'll see how I did it. What are you doing, dog? My dog's behind the camera. And if you're looking into doing this at home and you want to do open pour, and you buy some cheap molds, there's a lot of good places to buy them. You can get them off of StankX. This is where I bought this one, the 7-inch, the 5-inch, and the 9-inch, the big rocket. It's stankxbaitco.com. They have pretty good prices on molds. And then go get you some of these at Walmart, and you need one of these. You want to pour between 3 and probably, I'd say 375. If you go over 400, you'll burn it. You need a cheap microwave. Thrift stores are great for those. All right, we're at 350, but I'm pouring a multiple layer, so I want it a little bit warmer than that. I'm not doing the 9-inch because I have a bunch of them already, and if people want them, I'll pour them, but it takes a lot of plastic to pour a 9-inch. So I don't pour those for fun. I think I poured some on my first video. I think I poured at least one on my first video. Between layers, if you're gonna do one color, just fill the mold up. But between layers, you want to reheat the top layer of the first color you poured. That way it's melted a little bit and the second one sticks to it. So the first layer I pour just in the belly. The second layer I pour about halfway up the eye, or to the bottom of the eye. And then the third layer I just fill the mold up. Okay, so it's gonna be a little longer than 10 minutes. Hopefully less than 20 minutes. But y'all already saw what the baits come out like. That's why I had them poured first. That way you could see the baits. Then we don't have to wait for these to cool off. My dog's being weird. It's storming here. It just finished raining about 30 minutes ago. It's almost there. I'll be back. Gotta stop the dogs. That plastic's reheating right now. Okay, I'm back. Plastic's hot. Gotta get my glove. Gonna have to put on bug spray. Mosquitoes are biting me. I have a screened in porch, but I have a dog door. Final layer. There it is. Got a 3.5 inch a 5-inch, and a 7-inch. Everybody have a good weekend. Catch lots of fish. Tight lines.